last few months, I've had several clients tell me that they think they're too reliant on paid media. They ask me how we can help them build their brand through owned and earned channels. Now, it may be that clients are only asking this question now because an unpredictable economy and unreliable supply chain have put some media budgets in jeopardy. But even if you're flush with product and everything's going great, you still want to make sure you're making the most of all the communications touch points at your disposal. Add to that all the buzz about gaming, the metaverse. You've got a lot of marketers trying to figure out how to build their brands on new platforms. I love to talk about this topic. As the head of our connections department at VMLY&R, it's my job to make sure we're experts in the many different ways that brands can connect to their audiences with purpose and results. And while paid media is a critical part of that mix, it's certainly not the only one. I'm personally super passionate about building brand love by engaging with communities and culture. And I wanted to share some of the fundamentals of an approach we use for just that. We initially designed this approach for building brand love through social, and it's been interesting to watch how things have evolved over the last few years. What we've learned is that because this approach was designed to enable brands to interact, engage, and basically live in the world with their communities, it's not only effective for social, but it's also an ideal method for extending your brand into experiential, gaming, the metaverse, and really any platform where your brand can become part of the fabric of a consumer's life. This approach also alleviates a lot of the pain that can come with making the leap into real-time interactive realms. It eliminates, or at least minimizes, the swirl. And I know some of you have been there. It's a version of something like this. Oh my God, Lizzo just mentioned us on TikTok. What should we do? Should we respond? What should we say? But maybe we shouldn't say anything. What if we get it wrong? But we have to do something, and then it pretty much spins like that for about 4 days until the moment has passed. I know how confusing and even risky it can feel for marketers to make the leap out of advertising and into platforms where they're expected to converse and interact with their communities in real time. Our approach enables the brand to participate in a way that just starts to feel second nature, so marketers can act with clarity and confidence. So, what is this approach? Well, it starts with 3 fundamentals that form the foundation of creativity in a multi-platform world. The first is a distinct and consistent brand persona. The second is an authentic and meaningful brand story. And the third is a focus and dedication to your muse audience. So let's start with the persona. This is truly a brand persona and should be consistent across touch points. The reason we started developing this specifically for social is because if we're going to be conversing with real people in real time, the list of adjectives in your brand tone of voice document probably isn't enough to go on. We're friendly, approachable experts just doesn't give a creative team or a community manager enough information to know how to bring the brand to life. You can probably easily name 5 extremely different people in your own world who all fit that description, from your barista to your boss to your mom. We need all the texture and detail to make the brand feel like an actual person. How do they really talk? Are they a leader who the community looks up to? Are they part of the gang? Do they prefer being on stage for karaoke or quietly solving a crossword puzzle? Are they sarcastic or sincere? Do they use emojis, GIFs, memes? We develop the persona together with our clients, typically starting with a questionnaire that asks a lot of provocative and fun questions and leads into a workshop. The goal is that we develop something so specific and thorough that it's consistent regardless of who's behind the voice. It could be coming from a social profile or a chatbot, a song on Spotify, or an avatar in a game. It could be created by different agencies or in-house. But if it's done right, regardless of the source, interacting with that brand feels like interacting with the same person. And that's important because it becomes a distinctive brand asset, and also because your audience gets to know what to expect from you. And that builds trust. The persona can be based on a real person. For instance, the US Navy uses a real-life recruiter as the foundation for their persona and asks themselves, what would Vance do? Or the persona could be based on a character from movies, TV, or literature. This is really handy because it creates some great shortcuts. There are already a lot of video clips or text excerpts that we can use to build off of and create that shared understanding more quickly. The persona can also be wholly new based on an idea or experience that we developed together, like your favorite science teacher of all time. The important thing is that it be completely clear and understandable to everyone creating content or acting on behalf of the brand, and that it be distinct enough to act like a real person, because the persona is going to become your how. It's how your brand talks, how your brand behaves, how it engages people. Like the persona, we develop the brand story through the workshop. We start with artifacts like your brand purpose statement, because this needs to be authentic to the brand and something the brand can back up. Sometimes we bring in a list of dozens of values to the workshop and highlight some that feel important and relevant. There are a lot of forms a brand story can take, but ultimately, we want to get to a very simple and pure distillation of the brand story, one that makes the story supremely clear. The t-shirt and the protest sign. Your t-shirt is the thing that your brand champions, what you fight for every day. And your protest sign is the brand's enemy. It's what you fight against. If their brand persona tells you how to act, a clear brand story will tell you why. Why is this a conversation you should be part of? Why do you think you have a right to be here? And the last of the fundamentals I'd like to talk about, your Muse audience. In the world of paid media, we talk a lot about segmentation and target audiences. The goal is often reach and efficiency. But owned and earned media can have different needs, especially on interactive platforms. If we want to get people talking, we need to connect on their passion points. That's why we design for our Muse audience. This audience sits within our target audience, but they're a subset of that audience. They're going to look different for every brand, but they're often highly active in social, influential, and culturally attuned. They tend to be early adopters. We research the specifics for each brand and then listen to that audience continuously to give us focus. Instead of trying to reach our entire target audience on these platforms, we aim to create sparks with our Muse, and then those sparks will ignite the fire that eventually reaches our broader audience, usually through earned media. While the persona tells us how we talk and behave, and our story tells us why we should engage, or not, listening closely to our Muse audience tells us where we should be showing up and what we might want to talk about. Should we be on Discord, at Coachella, and Animal Crossing? Look to your Muse. Where are they spending their time? What shows are they watching? What musical artists are they talking about? What memes are they sharing? These are all important guides. With these fundamentals in place, you have a strategic path to building your brand on multiple platforms and a clear sense of which platforms are great opportunities for you and which should be left alone. We've seen that exploration lead to new product development, live interactive experiences, far more meaningful and deliberate social media, smart involvement in gaming, and much more. I want to leave you with a look at some of the work we've done with our partners at Wendy's. Now, it would be easy to look at each individual case of Wendy's engaging with a community in social or gaming or music and see it as a one-off success. I encourage you to look again and see the through line of the fundamentals we talked about today. Is there a distinct and consistent brand persona? Check. She's a sassy redhead who is not only charming, confident, and quick-witted, but also competitive and a little stubborn. She's part of the gang and someone you want to be friends with, but watch out. She's just as likely to roast you as she is to help you with your homework. Is there an authentic and meaningful brand story? Check again. Wendy's champions quality for everyone, whether that means using fresh, never frozen beef, or guaranteeing fries that are hot and crispy, or a value meal that's really a value. And she fights against shoddiness and those who don't live up to her standard. When she sees subpar quality from others, especially McDonald's, she's not afraid to call it out. It's a very authentic story and very true to why Dave Thomas started the restaurant chain in the first place. He was pioneering things that seem obvious today, the drive-through, fast food salads, and hamburgers that don't elicit the question, where's the beef? Did you know that Wendy's hamburgers are square because they don't cut corners? It's true. And finally, is there a focus and dedication to the Muse audience? Check again. Wendy's is famous for making friends and inviting them to lunch. Those friends are digitally savvy, highly engaged, and culturally connected 18 to 34-year-olds. It's just a fraction of the 85 million visits Wendy's gets every month, but the sparks they make together make big news. So with all that in mind, let's have a look.
I'm Dave Thomas. I started Wendy's with one restaurant and a philosophy.
Old-fashioned hamburgers.
Got crispy chicken nuggets for you.
This is a defining moment.
Hey, where's the beef?
Pretzel love sauce.
Wanna high five myself. Please. Pretzel rolls so good.
Genius!
This is 16-year-old Carter Wilkerson.
And he tweeted Wendy's asking, quote, how many retweets for a year of free chicken nuggets? Wendy's replied 18 million.
My Oscar selfie it's holding the record right now at 3.3 million.
They made National Roast Day.
They're roasting people on Twitter all day long.
Help me with my geometry homework and I'll buy Wendy's instead of Jack in the Box.
Oh my God, they're doing homework now.
This is great. I'm gonna follow them after this.
Twitter beef. Wendy's has been throwing shade at McDonald's.
Wendy's is having a field day trolling McDonald's.
Wendy's has dropped a mixtape aimed at its competitors.
Wendy's been holding it down for like a minute now. Mickey Bleep was trying to beef, it's time to finish now.
This is the greatest thing in food history.
Thank you so much for coming to the stream, Wendy.
Where's the beef?
I hope today's session has helped solidify a new way of thinking about your brand persona, your brand story, and your Muse audience. With these fundamentals in place, it's so much easier to know how your brand could interact in the world. And armed with this clarity, just like with Wendy's, more platforms will begin to look like opportunities for you and your brand too.